Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece chapter 950, and I'm completely sorry that this particular review is as late as it is, guys. Like this, at the time I'm reviewing, and at the time I'm probably gonna upload this, it's probably gonna be around 4 o'clock a.m. My time, and the reason why I'm a little extra special late with this one is because pretty much manga like manga rap was pretty much when it came to my manga rock app again, that they were pretty much pretty much on the fritz, or pretty much slow on the uptake again. So I was reading this from the I was reading this from the I was reading this thing I was reading the chapter online. So I nearly just said I'll just read the chapter online, and then it decided to update. So yeah, there's that. Um, yeah. With that said, let's get into the chapter itself. And okay, so in order to start off the chapter shows Kid and Killer having essentially leaving from Udon prison with the intent in order to save the other members of their crew. So this confirms that yes, that pretty much Kid's crew had pretty much survived their encounter with basically Kaido. But to be honest, just knowing this makes Kid's side of the situation a little underwhelming, and I really would have preferred it if basically Oda had killed them. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense. In some ways, I suppose it makes sense if you consider that pretty much Kaido he isn't really interested in killing himself. He's looking for someone in order to kill him. But I don't know, just something just didn't it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. It just didn't Something about this whole situation with the Kid's crew surviving just doesn't feel right. Like I understand with the whole thing of Kaido who's looking for someone to kill him over him wanting to kill himself, but yeah, like I don't know. It just felt a little off. But I definitely recognize as to what Oda is doing here and what he's setting up. That pretty much Kid is eventually going to join Luffy, and I definitely like the idea of the top three of the three members of the worst generation. Like pretty much teaming up again. Like with what happened in this chapter, like you can clearly tell it's gonna be exactly like what happened in the pre-time skip on the archipelago with Law, Kid, and with Law, Kid, and Luffy being like pretty much the three main like pirates who are gonna end up leading this whole revolution against Kaido. So yeah, I like that idea for sure. And on that note, even though it was underwhelming to know that pretty much Kid's crew is alive, I do like how Kid himself is really sorting through some legitimate trust issues after having been so easily betrayed by both Apoo and Hawkins to Kaido. And it's all completely understandable when you see that when you see there is a little bit of an illusion in this chapter as to how quickly they pretty much chose to in fact turn on Kid after meeting Kaido. One big question mark for me though is where is Kid's crew being held prisoner? Because if they aren't being held in Udon, then that doesn't exactly leave too many places to cross off the list. But in either case, I wouldn't be surprised if they're being held in a place where they're going through a good deal amount of torture, which to me it would offset the whole idea of them being alive to begin with. And actually, and the more I think about it as I'm reviewing this, I think it would make most sense. It would make most sense if Kid's crew were basically among the were basically even among the prisoners who are being looked over by who are being looked over by Hawkins, like all the prisoners in this town square or something. I wouldn't be surprised if Kid's crew is among them. Now, and now, one thing I will say is that while it definitely and one other thing to talk about in this episode is that we cut back to what's happening inside the Udon mine, and from there we pretty much see all the prisoners are after learning that the Nonosuke is alive. You can see all the prisoners and former like samurai all pretty much rallying and bowing and pretty much bowing before. And bowing before Mom Onosuke now, and one thing I will say about that is that with them bowing and rallying around him, it did feel like it happened a little too quickly, but it did feel like it happened a little too quickly, but I definitely like how we are getting a little bit more movement on this. I do like how Oda is moving forward with this whole thing of Momonosuke basically rallying of Momonosuke. Having rallied like the forces of Wano behind him now, with all the prisoners bowing before him. Like I said, it happened a little quickly, but it still works. And yeah, just seeing them from cry tears of joy over his return was just amazing, and it also, with them crying tears of joy over his return, it proved how influential Odin himself was and how strong his legacy actually is, even with him being dead. Weirdly though, with me in terms of the best part of this is that Luffy, in terms of like how this correlates to the last chapter, Luffy had basically enough influence to get everyone to listen last chapter, but with this chapter, it was basically Momo. It was basically Momo who took the spotlight and actually had to step up and follow through with pretty much what it was that Luffy had started, and I do appreciate those moments when Luffy takes a little more of a supporting role and lets another character step into the spotlight. One thing I wasn't a fan of, though, is how the chapter was kind of treating Luffy being poisoned like a joke. Because that pretty much gives me less confidence that pretty much Chopper is going to be developing with this moment. Like I'm pretty sure that pretty much Chopper is still going to have his moment where he of course where his skills develop. But I think this proves that it isn't going to be with this situation, and more with the whole thing, what's going on with the smiles. I think that's where he's going to probably develop or something. Also, I really got a kick out of the flashback with from Shutenmaru and his followers and how they're fighting against Kaido's men when they first formed on the island, and then cutting to present day where we see all of them where we see him basically rallying all his men together again once more in order to do another attack. Although this time there is an actual plan in order to defeat Kaido. And including the Shutenmaru stuff, we basically also including that setup with Shutenmaru, we also pretty much get another setup with Zoro saying he plans to go back to the bridge in order to get Shusui, and I like how combining all between the stuff going on at Udon, the whole stuff with Shutenmaru and rallying his people together, and this stuff. and the stuff with Zoro. I like how these three events are all serving to the same purpose of are giving that heroic sense of hope and the feeling like what happened in the past isn't going to happen again, and that with basically all these forces converging on Orochi and Kaido, like there pretty much is genuine hope in order for Wano to be liberated at last. So yeah, there's just this genuinely heroic feeling I pretty much got from this chapter, which I just loved. So and we got a very epic ending in this chapter with Law having been captured. And granted, I would like to see a little bit more of a fight, but I'll be honest, just seeing Law smile in the face of danger like that just proves he's a true D. Like the fact that he's all chained, that he's handcuffed together, he's pretty much been cornered. He can't use his outward powers, and he's still smiling. That proves he's basically a true man of D. So yeah, like pretty much the D is pretty much strong in this one for sure. Having said that though, I think between this moment and the whole thing with betraying Kid, it's honestly gotten to a point where Oda is practically going to have to go above and beyond with Drake, Apoo, and Hawkins in order to make even for a fraction of a second believe that pretty much these three have some kind of plan in order to defeat Kaido at the center of all the shit they've been pulling. Because right now, especially with Hawkins and Apoo, they seem irredeemable. With Prince Drake, you can at least get a little bit of a sense he's probably got a plan behind the scenes. But with Drake and Apoo, it seems like they are pretty much like long gone and are like fully committed to Kaido's cause. So if Oda has plans in order to redeem these two, he needs to do it quick, and he needs to do it very quick, and he needs to make it extremely convincing for me. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.